Right now, African football is a joke, an embarrassment.
The bigger point is this: CAF is an embarrassment. That's it. I'm of African heritage. I know about the African Cup of Nations. I've watched it as a kid growing up, and I know players who I've played against, who've played in it, top world-class players. When you look at the whole situation, everything, it's an embarrassment.
A disgrace.
I think for me, this is the most disgraceful decision that CAF has ever taken in the history of that organization.
A madness.
How come it's taken 2 months to decide something like that, which should have taken them about 2 minutes? I mean, we don't even wait that long for VAR decisions. I mean, it's absolute madness, and it's damaging to African football.
2 months ago, Senegal won the AFCON Cup of Nations after beating host Morocco in one of the most bizarre continental finals of all time. 2 months later, they are somehow no longer champions. The Confederation of African Football made a ruling. They decided to take the AFCON title the world watched Senegal win off their hands. No replay, no second chance, no second leg. But that's not even the problem, because somehow this isn't even supposed to be the problem. And so the big question is, how does the team win AFCON and then lose it months later? Welcome to African football. So what exactly happened then? Back in January, both Senegal and Morocco treated the world to one of the most shocking and yet entertaining finals ever. The match was about reaching the final minutes of normal time when the controversy happened. Senegal thought they'd taken the lead after Ismail Assar headed home Ibrahim Sek's initial effort that hit the bar, but then the ref ruled it out for a foul. Now I say foul in quotes because you need to look at this. As blatantly wrong as this was, it somehow got worse. Brahim Diaz went down in the box after he claimed he was fouled from a corner. The ref consulted VAR to check and then issued a penalty to Morocco at the end of regulation time. The Senegalese players and coaching staff couldn't believe what they were witnessing. A daylight robbery unfolding before their eyes, and that of the world, with football's highest bodies in attendance. FIFA President Gianni Infantino was watching. The same with CAF President Patrice Motsepe. Senegalese coach Pape Thiaw couldn't care less. They weren't prepared to get robbed on the big stage, and that's when they shocked the world. They walked out in protest. Truth is, it was a really low moment for African football. The entire world was seeing this unfold at what was supposed to be the climax of the continent's biggest footballing event. Senegal didn't want to participate anymore. The coach left. Most of the players had already gone down the tunnel. In the stands, it was utter chaos. A fight had erupted between some Senegalese fans and the Moroccan police. Stadium equipment was getting vandalized. All of this was rapidly happening in minutes. The game technically was still going on. At least the ref hadn't signaled to either end the game or blow for full time. One Senegalese player though refused to go in and allow the ref to end it. In a moment where almost everyone around him lost their heads, Sadio Mane kept his cool. He was the calm figure, the one who decided to see things rationally. And later he urged Pape Thiaw and his teammates to return to the pitch. Senegal decided after leaving that they would come back to play. They would continue, but they still had to face a Moroccan penalty that could eventually decide the game. Brahim Diaz stepped up, and I promise you I'm not making this up. He had a chance to end Morocco's 50-year wait for an AFCON title. Brahim Diaz didn't just miss, he missed spectacularly. A failed panicker with his country's hopes in the balance. Damn. The final itself already had more turns than almost every game combined in the competition, and yet the drama still wasn't done. Senegal had returned. Goalkeeper Edouard Mendy had saved the penalty. Then they completely flipped the script and stole the lead. Papa Gueye stunner silenced the home crowd. All Senegal had to do was hold on to the lead, and by the time added time in extra time had fully ticked over, Senegal had done it. They'd become champions of Africa for the second time since 2021 and breathe. But just before we continue though, we're trying to bring you quality videos like this, and in turn, we're only asking that you hit that subscribe button to the Football Armageddon down below and turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. Thanks. That was supposed to be the final right there. It was messy. It was chaotic. Senegal had clearly messed up. On the part of Morocco, the Tower Gate scandal had been exposed. But for the greater cause, isn't that what FIFA and CAF wanted? To complete the final and deal with whatever happened after? Because that's what they made it seem. See, after the competition was done, CAF dished out a load of fines to all parties involved. I mean, get this. Senegal, for walking out, got fined up to $1 million reportedly. Senegalese head coach Pape Thiaw was banned for 5 matches and fined $100,000 by CAF. Senegalese players Ismail Assar and Iliman Ndiaye received 2-match bans from CAF for what they deemed as unsporting behaviours towards the referee. The Senegalese Football Federation was fined $600,000 and $300,000 respectively for failing to control Senegalese fans in the stands, and were fined a further $15,000 for yellow cards in the game. That's a lot of money getting paid in fines. On the part of Morocco, the Moroccan Football Federation was fined $200,000 for the inappropriate behaviour of their ball ball boys. Captain Achraf Hakimi was given a 2-match ban with a 1-match suspended sentence, meaning effectively he's just banned for a CAF-related game this year. Ismail Saibari was fined $100,000 for his role in trying to steal towels. Someone still needs to explain what he wanted to do with all these towels, man. Morocco also got fined $100,000 by CAF for failing to restrict their players from invading the VAR technical area. The point is, the list of fines and bans, when compared, already shows Senegal received more fines and bans from CAF than Morocco did. And to be fair, they did leave the pitch. So ultimately it should have ended in this. This should have been enough. I mean, the game was played. That's what Morocco wanted, to see the game played out on their turf and finished. Brahim Diaz again had the chance to score and effectively win the game. He didn't. Senegal turned the game on its head, and suddenly it wasn't enough for Morocco. See, they lost on the pitch, and so they tried to win off it. What's even crazier about this is that it's the same CAF who initially turned down Morocco's appeal that somehow granted it 2 months later. So now we know what happened. The final, the tensions involved, and the drama behind it. How did everything suddenly implode to the level it's at now? For Morocco, this has been in the works for a while now. Morocco lodged their complaint to CAF's disciplinary committee after the final. The disciplinary committee in turn handed out fines to both the Senegalese and Moroccan players and staff, but Morocco wasn't satisfied. They felt they'd been wronged and tried to use the rules as a guide. That's when they went to CAF's appeal board. And this is where things get tricky. Now, it's a case of understanding football laws while knowing how to apply common knowledge in the game. Let's break down the complex text in simple terms. Article 82 of CAF's regulations states that if a team refuses to play or leaves the ground before the end of regulation time without the referee's authorization, it will be considered the loser and eliminated from the competition. Article 84 further backs this up and then proceeds to say the exact scoreline in this amount, 3-0. That's the law. But here's where common sense comes in. The referee never blew the whistle for full time. I mean, he had a choice. The world watched it. The world did see it. When almost all the Senegalese players walked off the pitch and caused that 17-minute delay in the final, the referee stood right there, and then he could have hit the whistle for full time and closed the game. Then the rules would have backed up his decision, but he didn't. And that's because the issue was still getting resolved. So why the heck did that happen only for it to become an issue later? The fact is that if Morocco had won, if Brahim Diaz had scored that penalty, that is, none of this would have happened. The Moroccan Federation wouldn't be as bothered about the rules or the scoreline, because in the end, they'd have achieved their ultimate goal, which is to win. This leads to another angle which almost seems to have died down after the competition now. Take nothing away from the venues and the infrastructure Morocco has used in hosting African competitions over the years. It's world class, it's state of the art. But there seems now to be an agenda that supports Morocco from CAF above everyone else. And this isn't just a claim. I mean, listen to what Patrice Motsepe, the CAF president, is about to say now.
Let me give you an example. I ask in CAF, we've got futsal. I open a bid for 6 months and nobody submits an offer because they lose money. I open a bid for the Women's Champions League. Nobody puts a bid because they lose money. And what happens? Morocco comes and says, I'll help you. And sometimes another country comes and says, I will help you. And what that leads to is that we've got lots of competitions where it's often the same countries. And partly it's because the others don't, the government say, but we don't have the money, we don't have the resources. And we have to move on and develop African football and encourage those others as well to build their infrastructure.
To his credit, he tries to explain the situation. The reason Morocco has hosted so many African competitions in recent times is because they have the money to help CAF and in turn host competitions. Morocco has hosted 8 major African continental tournaments over the last 5 years. Now they are taking that part to the global stage. Alongside Spain and Portugal, they will host the 2030 World Cup. But in the context of their AFCON situation, it just plays into their hands. The 2025 AFCON was a very clear reminder of the advantage host nations, particularly in tournaments in Africa, seem to have over other competing countries.
But that kind of sentiment of the Senegalese feeling this injustice goes far beyond that. It went far, before the start of the, not just the final, but the semi-final, the quarterfinal. The Senegalese Federation felt like the players hadn't been treated well by the Moroccan Federation. They had to change hotels. They had to change training facilities. They said they weren't given enough security or tickets by the Moroccan Federation. So there was this sense of real kind of injustice coming into the final, and then the Senegalese players walk off when they were denied a goal, which they felt was a clear goal.
The Senegalese Federation were not the only ones that complained about receiving mediocre to low-level treatment from the hosts, but in their case, the outcry was bad. And then again, the towel thing. They did the same when they faced Nigeria in the semi-finals. Goalkeeper Stanley Nobali had his towel stolen by ball boys. For it to happen in the final, with even the captain, Achraf Hakimi, getting involved, makes the entire thing really suspicious. Morocco didn't just make the most of home advantage, they tried to enforce it. It was very clear in the final. Now, there's a big question for CAF and Morocco. The Moroccan claims that they never wanted to challenge the sporting performance of the teams participating in the competition, but that instead, they simply want the competition's rules to be applied. So, they should try to make it make sense then. If they indeed do not want to challenge the sporting performance of the teams in the competition, then the case shouldn't have gotten to CAF, because they would have taken it on the chest that they did lose. They lost. It's a fact. A lot of narratives will be built, but the fact is that on that night in Rabat, Morocco played the final and lost. They had a chance to win. It's not like Papa Gueye's goal for Senegal was the only clear-cut chance of the game. Morocco did have chances too. They did not take them. They had arguably the best one of the nights for Brahim Diaz. He played a panika and missed. That was the sporting performance in the final. Two teams played the final. One team scored a goal to win it, the other didn't. To attempt going through the back door to overturn the result is as big a joke as watching Achraf Hakimi steal a towel. Because didn't they think of the outcome? I mean, see what it is now. CAF has awarded the title to Morocco. On official sites, it lists Morocco as the winners of AFCON. Well, how do they celebrate this? I mean, what happened to the parade the Senegalese fans threw after winning the trophy back in Dakar? Can Moroccans boldly come out and do the same? No, because deep down they know this isn't football. This isn't an application of the rule. This is simply a country trying to bend football as they please. And the worst part is everyone can clearly see things for what they are. On the part of African football, these are the issues. This is the problem. This is why people like Jamie Carragher could openly dress down AFCON.
And he's weight on their shoulders. To say AFCON is a major tournament because a lot of people at home say people not taking that. Say AFCON is a major tournament. Just so you don't. No, Egypt are going to win a cup, aren't they? No, but AFCON it's big, wasn't it? Remember when him and Mane was going for it and I'm just saying AFCON. It's a fact. It's a fact. If you're in the Euros or you're in the Copa America, it's deemed to be big. So the AFCON.
Because there is no major international tournament anywhere else in the world where this happens. Senegal and Morocco dented the African image in AFCON in the final in January. But now, CAF and Morocco are only going about ruining it completely. So what do you guys think? Are Morocco being realistic in the chase for an AFCON title that they lost? Or is this a case of one country bending an entire federation to its will? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're at it, be sure to check out the video on how one of Africa's greatest attacking forwards in Victor Osimhen is on a revenge mission to the rest of Europe.